Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it's a great championship to win for sure, but to win it on the road is incredibly hard, and to do that up there at Oklahoma State is a huge feat. And so, really proud of them. And our message to them has just been that's not going to carry us through the national championship, and so it's a great confidence booster. And now we've got to kind of forget about it and move on and take this one on because everything's up for grabs here.
How about just the overall strength of the team? Overall, you are pretty good at everything?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely got our stronger, more consistent areas, but I wouldn't say that those events have been strong every single meet. And so, it's been a year where we've had to really rely on our depth. Like our flat squad, for instance, has been incredibly strong. They're coming in here number 2, but they've had off days, and our team's been deep enough in the other 3 events where they could pick them up, and we didn't have to just count on that event to carry us through. And so it's been really neat to watch the growth and, watch them be able to lean on each other and, not have one side carry us through, and, more so than the others. And so, we came down to a tie at the Big 12 Championship, 10-10, and so we knew, we had to be strong enough in all 4 of our events to be able to get to that point. And so, really critical to be at that strength at this point in the season. I feel like we're peaking at the right time.
Is some of it just your second year, the girls getting used to you, you getting used to the program? What's been the difference from last year to this year?
That's interesting. I think a lot of it is, I thought it would take a lot longer. I thought it would be 3 or 4 years to kind of get the dynamic that we wanted and get the team on board. I think a lot that's helped us get there really quickly is that the majority of our team's really young. When I came in last year, we had 24 freshmen. They're now sophomores at this time, and we have 20 freshmen this year. And so the majority of our roster is held in those underclassmen who just really didn't know any different. And so they bought in from day one whenever I came in here. And so that's helped a lot. And so this year specifically, we've got an incredible group of upperclassmen leadership. And it's a joint effort between our juniors and seniors. And so our team dynamic and cohesion is just absolutely incredible. And I really didn't think we would be here on year 2. Sometimes I think I tell people they're a little naive, in their talent and in their ability, but that's a good thing. It keeps them hungry and it keeps them driving. They work incredibly hard, and they've been able to bounce back. I mean, I think last year we were a team that, I've said this before, if we were down or if we were tied at the half, that'd scare us a little bit and we'd back off. And this year we fight. And so, they push each other. They're confident in their own They've got a lot of confidence in their own abilities, and so it's just been really neat to watch that grow and watch that develop. And so, but I think it starts with just how close they are with each other personally and outside of the team, and then it's carried into their ability to be like great teammates and really push and motivate each other.
Who are some of the veterans who might be able to give you all a lift here?
So we've got a strong senior class. Abby Demmel in the horsemanship and Kaylee Malott, their senior season. So they're looking at round 4 out here at the championship. Shannon Hogue, she's been here for the fences for us for a couple of years, and she's here in the flat this year as well. And so, those are some of our seniors who are here and who are competing and have definitely been around the block. And then we've got a couple other ones. Madison Day is a junior. She doubles up in the fences and the flat. And, Sydney Shekel, she's just a sophomore, but she's come off of a Big 12 Rider of the Year in the reining and a pretty prestigious season, as well as Grace Teal coming off a Big 12 Rider of the Year in equitation on the flat and a great season as well. And so, we've got that upperclassmen, those veterans, like you said, and then we've got a couple of those lower class riders who have really just stepped up and had outstanding seasons. And so got a lot of the team looking to all those guys to help get through this week.
Is the 11th year, 12th year it's been here?
14.
Okay,
This is 14. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. Is it, there are positives, but there may be some negatives also for being here. How do you look at that?
For sure. We love having it in our backyard. That's great. Obviously, the transfer over is super easy, so that helps a lot. I think sometimes what we struggle with is getting the team out of their element. While we don't play here during our regular season meets, it's still home. It's still in your backyard. You still get to go home at night. And so we've done some things. We started last year where we put our competitors in a hotel room, pull them outside. We don't have to do that, spend a little extra money, but get them outside of that comfort zone, not let them go home, parents staying with them at night, but really just stay in that mode, that we're competing and we're going to be focused for the duration of why we're here. I think that's a big piece that's helped us, having them bus back and forth instead of just driving on their own. It's just little pieces that you don't think are really a big deal, but it just makes you a little bit lax, when you're treating it like a home event all week. And so I think some of the huge benefits are just having like the support of Waco and Baylor right here in our backyard, and this is free to the public, and so these people who have supported us all year, trying to entice them to come out here to Extraco and support us as we finish out our season. So we should be able to have a really great crowd for Baylor Equestrian. So we look forward to that, and that we like the comfort piece of it. We just try not to lean on it too much.
What's your message to the community of Waco who maybe have never come to an equestrian event or something like that? Why should they, take part in this and come out and cheer you guys on?
So I think this is probably the most exciting platform that they can come see for collegiate equestrian, because if it's someone who's ever witnessed a horse show in the real world, they're typically really quiet, really boring, really low key. You don't want to do a lot of cheering. And this ties in the athletic component of it, and more so the athletic component of it than the horse show side of it. And so when you get here, you see the teams rallying and cheering, and that's not the norm for this sport, if you will. And so you get the hype that you have in college athletics, and you see the teams rallying for one another and for each other as we go down through the week, and you start to eliminate teams and stuff. And so I think that's definitely fun. This is where the best horses come to compete, and so if they're in there watching the events, they see some incredibly talented animals that our student athletes get to ride, and so it's definitely fun. I know there's an educational component of it that people don't understand a lot of the sport, but if they come out here and they sit near a student athlete, you've got hundreds of girls here would be happy to talk about their sport and educate anyone about what's going on, and so where better to do it than from teams all the way across the country.
What do you see from Georgia?
Going into the first round, well, we beat them once, but we're not going to ride on that. And so definitely a hard first round opponent. We feel really confident that we have beat them before, but we know that, anything's up for grabs at nationals. And that's what we've told our team. It does not matter where you come in ranked and how you did in the regular season, because things here are so mental. There's just so many unknowns, when you come to the championship. And so we don't want to rely on the fact that we just won Big 12 or we beat Georgia in the past, and things like that. They are a great team, an incredibly talented team. They're young and they're going through some stuff, but, you just need your team to be in the right zone on the right day. And so we definitely can't go into that thinking that we've got that one for sure. So I think they're probably one of the toughest first round opponents, but I think we can definitely do it.
You talked about how close this team is.
Mhm.
How tough is that with 65 or whatever?
It's not easy. That's a lot of young women. It's good. I think, we talk to them a lot about just, you can't take everything personal, and if you've got issues outside of the team, they stay outside of the team, and when you come to the team, you're teammates. It does not matter what's going on with your roommates and what's going on with anything else, but I think it's about finding balance in their lives. They can't live, eat, and breathe together, so they've got a lot of what we see is sometimes our Western student athletes are living with Hunt Seat student athletes, so they get that break of people that they're always, practicing with and competing with and things like that. They get to be with the other side of their team, and so we still are having that team atmosphere, but they're not with the same group of people in their same event 24 hours a day. So we see a lot of that, and I think that helps balance it out.
I guess you added a couple of new coaches this year.
We did, yes.
How much have they done?
Incredibly. They see the big picture. They both come from incredibly competitive programs in college. So, all three of us and Ashley, our director of ops, we've done this as student athletes, so we get it. We get the relatability factor to them and what they're going through right now. And both my coaches came from incredibly competitive programs, and so, they understand when to push, when to back off, and kind of how to help get their athletes there at the right time. I think just their knowledge and their experience that they've been through has really helped our team buy into them really quickly. I think that's been huge. And it's just a fun group to work with. The dynamic in the office is good, and it just carries out into the arena and carries out into the team. So definitely excited about where we're at and the future of it.
This is the second year of the format adding the disciplines. Do you like that thing? Do you like that
It is.
format? Yeah.
I love that we get to come here and play more than once. I love that piece of it. It makes for an incredibly busy week, and it's definitely hard on our horses and it's hard on our athletes, but sometimes you do have that event that's incredibly strong, and why not let them go ahead and vie for a national championship, when they've worked so hard. I think at the end of the day, the cherry on top is the team championship, and that's ultimately what you're vying for. And you want to do this together, and you want to do this with all four events and your entire team being able to come through on the right day and get you to the end. And so that's definitely the most important piece. But getting them to come here, they worked so hard to get here, cost a lot of money to get here, and having them be able to come in and play at least 2 rounds, I think is pretty incredible. And that's nice for us, and it's in our backyard, so I can only imagine how much nicer that is for a team traveling from across the country to come in like that. The only change we have to the format this year is that we've expanded our judges panel. So for 13 years, we only did 2 judges here at the championship, and added together those 2 judges' scores. This year, we're doing a panel of 5 judges in both arenas, so that's a huge thing that we've taken on. We'll drop the high score and we'll drop the low score from those 5 judges, and then add together the middle 3. And so you get a wider spectrum of what they see, and you don't have one judge who scores really high carry a certain team through the entire week, or one judge that scores really low, kind of beat you up all week. And so I think it'll kind of balance things out as we head through this week.
You were in school, did you ride here?
I did not ride here, and that's the only reason I know we've been at 14 years, because that's how long I've been coaching, so that seems like a really long time. I did not. I student coached here 1 year, the first year that it moved to Waco when I was at A&M, and then I coached here from Kansas State the rest of the time.
So did you participate when it was where, Albuquerque?
We were in Albuquerque, we were in Santa Fe, we went to Georgia 1 year,
Okay, but not here.
not here, so.
You have a different perspective. I mean, you coached here at Kansas State.
Mhm.
Now the Baylor coach. Is that a little different perspective?
It is. It's a little different perspective. I think just, getting here is a little different. I have been on the championship committee. I think this is the 7th or 8th year now, and that's a committee within the NCEA organization. And so I've carried that role from Kansas State here, and so that's helped a lot. And I think that's my role with them has helped a lot, just being here in Waco and being able to communicate with the folks out here at Extraco and around the city to put this on, and then work with Nancy Post on that. So that piece of it's been a lot easier. But this event's grown so much since we've been here. I mean, it's incredibly different than it was when we started. And so it's been really neat to watch the facility expand and things kind of take off, and, the format really try to find what fits for us here at the championship.
Do you see more good teams? I mean, better competition each year?
I think everybody gets better every year. I mean, I really do. It's, they figure out what works, what doesn't work, and they just keep growing every single year. And I think the pool is just incredibly strong. And then we're adding new programs on. We're adding UC Davis and Sweetbriar added last year. And so we're seeing new teams come into the field that haven't been there before, and it's just pushing everyone else around them. So I don't think there's anyone easy to play in this first round of competition, either in the events or on the team side. So I think we're all here to fight for it.